She said it casually, her eyes never leaving the glow of her phone screen. I have a date.
Just like that.
No hesitation, no build-up. As if she were mentioning the weather or reminding me to take out the trash. 3 words, calm, deliberate, strategically placed. I studied her. That slight, smug curve of her lips. She wore it like a prize, certain she had already won. What she didn't realize was simple. The game had ended long before, and I'd quietly stepped off the field without her ever noticing. A year ago, that comment would have gutted me. Back then, we were the couple people admired, hosting dinner parties, exchanging subtle glances across crowded rooms, sharing dreams over stale popcorn and grainy black and white films. I had believed in her. In us. She always had the perfect words at the perfect time, making me feel like we were building something real. But in truth, I was the only one laying bricks. Then things began to shift. She worked late more often. She suddenly became obsessed with the gym. She started locking her phone. My jokes stopped making her laugh. Someone else was catching her attention mid-conversation, leaving me talking to an empty chair. Still, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. That's what trust does. It clouds your vision until reality slams into you on some dull, gray Tuesday afternoon. I was searching her bag for a charger when her phone's screen lit up. Can't wait for tonight. Same room. She was in the shower. I didn't feel rage, not yet. What I felt was sharper, colder, eerily calm. Precise. I didn't confront her. Confrontation is an act of desperation. Instead, I chose strategy. That night, I lay beside her without moving. The faint scent of cologne clung to her skin, a scent that wasn't mine. What I felt wasn't heartbreak, it was clarity. Purpose. Quietly, I began collecting. GPS logs. Clone messages. Every location, every purchase, every transaction from our joint accounts. She suspected nothing. That's how I found him. Ethan Rollins. Mid-level executive.
Married.
Predictable. Then I found his wife, Julia. She didn't cry. She laughed and handed me her own folder of proof. Just like that, we went from betrayed spouses to partners in exposure. I hired a private investigator. Discreet, expensive, ruthless. Worth every dollar. Within weeks, I had everything. Photographs, voice recordings, receipts. Enough evidence to burn it all down. But I wasn't finished. We had a business together. On paper, it was a joint venture. In reality, I owned the trademarks, the intellectual property, the contracts. While she was chasing stolen glances and adrenaline, I was rewriting the DNA of our company. I shifted shares, changed access rights, closed doors she didn't even know existed. By the time she realized, the walls had already closed in. Last Thursday, I told her I had something special planned, a surprise, a night she wouldn't forget. She lit up, slipped into the red dress she'd worn the night we signed our first deal. She looked stunning, unaware she was walking into a carefully staged ending. The restaurant was all glass and skyline, a view most people reserve for proposals. She swirled her wine without drinking it. "So, what's the big occasion?" she asked, smiling. I slid a folder across the table. She chuckled until she opened it. Inside, every detail of the affair. Proof of stolen funds. Breaches of contract. A letter from Ethan's soon-to-be ex-wife's attorney. Her smile collapsed. Her hand trembled as it reached for the wine. "This isn't," she began. "It is," I said, my voice steady. "You're out. Your assets are frozen. Ethan is under investigation. You've been named in the civil suit." Her lips parted, but only air escaped. Then, in the faintest whisper, "I still love you." "I know," I replied, standing. "Enjoy your date." Now I sit alone in the apartment we once shared, now legally mine. The city beyond the glass feels quieter.
Cleaner.
I think back to all the times I defended her, the lies I swallowed, the loyalty I gave without question. They say revenge comes from rage. They're wrong. It comes from truth. From reclaiming the parts of yourself you allowed someone else to dull. I don't miss her. I miss the person I thought she was. And now, Every time she tries to move forward, every dinner, every meeting where my name still echoes, every glass of wine she lifts while waiting for someone, she'll remember that night. Because I didn't scream. I didn't plead. I didn't beg. I ended it with silence, precision, and one sentence she will never unhear.